Hey, it's Jake Blanchard. Welcome to Out Jakes. Today I'm at Owen Performance Horses, and I'm going to experience the day in the life of a horse operation. I'm really excited to meet with the owner, Alex. We're going to walk through the facility. We're going to check out some horses. We're going to do a bunch of fun stuff today, but there's a lot of work to do here. So come on, let's go. Alex, hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, man.
Thanks for having me out today.
Hey, thanks for coming out. I really appreciate you being here.
So Alex, what is performance horses? What does that mean?
So a performance horse, think of them like pro athletes, right? So we take these horses and they're bred a certain way for whatever discipline we want to show them in or compete in. And these horses are the NFL players.
Okay.
They're a completely different set of skills. They're built a certain way, and they are essentially freak athletes. And what we do is we show against other horse trainers. So it's an awesome thing to kind of compare your program versus someone else's program, and it's really fulfilling and it's very exciting.
How do clients come to you with their horses? What's that process like?
Oh, yeah, so when I get a client from a ranch, they bring their horse in and I start them and I keep them for X amount of time. So a lot of these horses have to do a specific job, and my job as the trainer is to teach that horse that job so they can be the most productive on the ranch.
Okay.
So that's just the ranching clients. You know, I do a lot of those throughout the year, and I really enjoy it because those horses go back and have a job. Our performance horses. So it depends on what your genre is as a trainer you like to show in and compete in. I really like reined cow horse. So our horses, they have to do 3 events. They do reining, cutting, herd, and they go down the fence. So that,
I don't know what any of that just meant.
so it's a lot. And so most genres, they compete in one thing. Our sport, you compete in 3 different things.
Okay.
And so we really have to have really high athletes for that job because it does take a lot. You know, these horses have to be really intelligent. And once we can find that right combo of horse, we can really utilize them in the show pen.
Okay.
It's really demanding from an educational standpoint because you have to be really talented and really good at 3 different disciplines, and it's a whole life of learning. You know, you go take a lesson again, you're like, oh, my Lanta, I wish I So it's an always evolving sport. You're always trying to get better. And so these horses we have are incredible. You know, I get emotional when I see just a really cool cow horse because it's what you can really see what horses are capable of.
Yeah.
And it is the coolest thing, and that's what draws me to it.
This is a 7-day-a-week, 365 kind of job.
It is.
Take me a little bit through that.
Yeah, so every day you have chores to do because the horses cannot take care of themselves. We wish they could. Life would be a lot easier that way.
Yeah, I bet.
But no, every day it's a really routine job. Nothing really changes that much. There's lots of different variables, you know, clients coming out, lessons, horse shows, so on and so forth. But every day you wake up really early and you feed and do waters, and then you clean your stalls. And before you can do anything, you got to get those done. Then we ride all of our horses. That takes a lot of hours. You
Okay.
know? You'll start, say, at 5, 6 in the morning, and you're not done until 10 o'clock at night, depending on your atmosphere, your facility, so on and so forth. So we can keep our place really nice for the horses and our clients and ourselves to run a successful horse training business.
And I think you're going to show me a little bit about how to take care of horses, at least from a high level.
Yeah.
And then we might be riding today.
Yeah, we might. I'm really excited about it.
When I do these out jakes, I love to dive headfirst into the subject matter. In this case, I found out quickly that Alex was happy to have some help shoveling horse poop, cleaning stalls, and he and I went to work for a while. I got the impression from Alex that I wasn't going to ride any horses until I took the time to learn and appreciate all the care and preparation it takes to trot them around. I found myself appreciating the work necessary to make a clean place for a horse to live. Alex had a great attention to detail and tried to pass along a few tips to help me speed up the work because I was obviously slowing us down. Even though I had just met these horses, I was already feeling a connection by caring for them. And from a guy who spends very little time around animals like these, I was blown away with the energy that radiates off them. I couldn't help but feel like they were judging me and my cleaning work. After we got some stalls clean, the horses let me know that I did okay, and we were ready to saddle up.
So before we saddle and ride, we want to groom them and make sure there's nothing on their coats, there's no shavings, there's no pricklies, there's no poop, there's no anything to go under that saddle pad and make them uncomfortable. So what you're going to do is you're going to start at the shoulder here, and you're just going to brush down their back, on their neck, wherever the saddle pad's going to go. And you just brush them, and you're looking on their coat, you're making sure all the dust is off, everything's clean. Yeah, and you right there, you can pet them, let them know you're there. Again, you're staying at that shoulder.
Does it really matter what direction you go?
No, so you kind of want to go with the coat.
So I'm doing all the good right now.
You're doing a great job. And then so here under the belly where that cinch goes, you want to come under here and then brush right under there. Good job. So what I'm going to do is grab the saddle pad first, set the saddle pad on them, then I'm going to grab my saddle. So I've got this saddle pad here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make sure all of it's cleaned off, check the bottom, make sure same thing, there's no crud under there, there's no shavings, it's all clean. So now that I got my saddle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay at that shoulder and I'm just going to toss my saddle over him. And I'm going to pick it up and then set it on his back. I'm going to find the right spot where it goes, and then what we're going to do is do the front cinch and the back cinch.
Okay.
So I take my latigo here out, I come to this side. So after I've checked this, realize that that's the height that needs front and back. I'm going to raise this back cinch up a little higher, and then tighten this cinch here. And this is essentially what keeps the saddle on your horse. And when I'm saddling right now, you don't got to go really tight quite yet. You want it snug, but not where you're pulling as hard as you can. And once I get the front and back cinch on, and then I put his boots on that protect his legs just like we would wear a brace.
Okay.
Then we'll go out and wrap it.
He's getting laced up. He's an athlete.
He's an athlete. So since they're athletes, we want to protect them as best as we can from their joints and their supplements and so on and so forth like that. And so everything we do is to keep them healthy and protected, just like a football player would be, a baseball player, so on and so forth. So when I'm going to get on this horse, I want to stay at this shoulder here. I want to grab this stirrup here and I want to put my left foot in it. And then I want to face my saddle at kind of an angle here. And I'm going to go 1, 2, and throw my leg over. If he walks off, I just want to get contact and just set my hand until he stops walking.
Okay.
I want to stay balanced, so 50-50 each side.
Yep.
And I want to sit right in that saddle here, and I want to put my heels down and sit up nice and tall.
After a walkthrough of what to expect, I couldn't help but be overwhelmed by a rush of nerves and excitement. To be completely honest, I've only been on a horse one time in the last 20 years, so we'll see what happens.
Left foot here.
Yep. You said grab the back of this here?
Yep. Okay, 1, 2, up, and over. Good job. Good. So now, squeeze them with 2 legs. Good.
Alex was a patient teacher. I could tell that there were a few things that he was coaching me on that I was not quite understanding. We did a private ride lesson for about 30 minutes, and after the first 10 minutes or so, I was really starting to get the feel. I was blown away with the level of detail, the light hand and body movements, and the skill required to handle this animal correctly. I figured I'd be galloping around the arena in no time, but Alex's #1 priority was to help me learn and to keep myself and the horse safe. So maybe another time for this greenhorn. With my head pouring over with tips, tricks, and things I could do better, I dismounted to ask Alex a few more questions before we parted ways so that he could get back to his busy day. Alex, thanks for the lesson. That was awesome, being able to just ride a horse around, and it's so different how gentle.
It's pretty cool. Once you get that concept of it and you're comfortable, I mean, it's one of the coolest feelings.
So an outsider looking in, how does somebody get into making a decision that they want to have a horse, that they want to raise a horse for show or for performance, or like, how does that work?
The best advice I can give is find a local trainer that you are comfortable with and start taking lessons. Too many people go out and just buy a horse, but they're not educated, so they get trailer before the horse situation,
okay.
Right? And so really do your due diligence and really think about it, because it's a huge commitment. Each facility is different. You know, one might have a full-time care where they take care of your horse, or they may ask you to take care of the horse. It just depends. So really do your due diligence, really think about it, but go get lessons, get mentorship, get something that can send you in the right direction so you're set up for success.
As far as folks who want to become horse trainers, what's that like?
It's a long, hard road, so you have to do your dues, and I am the biggest proprietor of doing your dues. And then once you're like, okay, I really want to follow this, and this is my passion, you got to work for somebody, and it's going to start cleaning stalls like I had you to do today, right? And it teaches you work ethic, and it teaches you how to do something monotonous day after day after day.
Yeah.
Because that still shows, hey, are you still passionate about this? And then someone will maybe let you start riding some of their horses, and they'll take you on as an apprentice or a mentor. And so you do that for years and years and years until the day comes when you go on your own. Because going on your own is quite scary, because now you have bills because you're running a business now. So you have facility, maybe truck, you got to pay for hay, shaving, so on and so forth. So it's a really big step to take. So you have to make sure you are ready.
You know, a lot of times, especially when I'm working with coaching clients, what I find is when their passion or their side business or whatever becomes their full-time job, and they're responsible now of running this ecosystem of something that was a passion project, but now it's just this huge business. How's that changed for you?
It's hard when you take your hobby and make it a business.
Right.
You know, it doesn't matter what you're into. Mine just happened to be horse training. You really have to every day look at it and realize why you love it, because there's going to be very, very hard days, just like any business. You know, there's going to be sleepless nights. You're going to go, how the heck can I pay my bills, right? The marketing side is a whole monster. But at the end of the day, you've got to love what you're doing and continue that.
What's your favorite part about doing this?
Helping people.
Okay.
You know, I love the horse so much, but what I love more than that is helping a person and their horse become a partnership. And that, to me, is my greatest is being a teacher.
I know you've got so much work to do out here, but carving out a little time for a lesson and to take me through what it takes to be a high-performance horse trainer, I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. It was a pleasure having you out here.
Thanks, Alex.